Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. It's a beautiful Friday afternoon here, sunny. We've had lots of rain. I've been out gardening, which is always a wonderful thing to be doing. And I'm at the tarot table now with not such a wonderful thing to be reading on. Harry has been at it again, giving an interview to Good Morning America, to Will Reeve. That was the camera crew that was following the has-beens around the Parkles in Canada. Now transpires that he has given an interview to Good Morning America covering such topics as his father's health, his possible application to become an American citizen, his wonderful loving relationship with his beautiful wife. We're going to be looking at that in the next reading. And of course his children, some interesting throwaway comments about his children that prove, in my opinion, that he doesn't spend any time at all with them. But that's not what we're looking at now. We are looking at the comments prompted by Will Reeve about how illness can bring a reconciliation between estranged family members. Harry said, "Look, I love my family. I think any illness brings families together." Interesting comment from someone who, as I think it was GB News, someone on GB News said, or Talk TV, spent 12 minutes with his father. He spent more time with the film crew in Canada than he did with his father on that whistle stop tour back to Britain. Clearly, for purposes of this GMA interview, he needed content for that. It was all about PR. Saw that in readings. Everybody speculated it was the case, and lo and behold, comes the interview a few days later. He refused to be in the same room as his stepmother, who he has categorized as a villain very publicly in his memoir. He has famously never met his father-in-law, Thomas Markle, who suffered a heart attack or series of heart attacks in the lead up to the wedding, the spectacle that cost the British taxpayer, I don't know, about £30 million. Famously berated Thomas Markle on the phone, but never bothered to meet the man. Thomas Markle had a very serious stroke a few years ago. It still seems to be in pretty bad shape. Has never bothered to visit to reconcile, nor has Meghan. But amazingly, since all of their deals have failed in America, now the reconciliation drum is being banged very loudly. So we're going to read on this. I have the Rebel Heart Tarot on the tarot table. I'm going to read on it from Harry's point of view. Is he genuine? Does he really believe that reconciliation is even remotely possible at this point? What's motivating this? Is it about the money? Is it truly that he misses his family? He loves his family. He has now made this declaration. He stopped demanding an apology, interestingly. I need to go and fetch that card, which went flying off, but luckily it didn't go. Oh, it's the Ten of Cups. Interesting. Happy Families card. So we want to know what's going on, really. What pressure he's under, how he views the family, his relationship with the family, all of that stuff. Celtic Cross, Rebel Heart Tarot. I think I've said enough. Let's remind you as the cards go flying all over the place. Lots of energy in them today. And let's remind you, one more shuffle, that this is just tarot for fun and entertainment. It is all my opinion. It's all speculation. I just read energy, archetypal energy, because we're dealing with the archetypal royal family. And Meghan, we know, loves archetypes so much, she's now found a new home for her podcast series on archetypes. Interesting. We'll get there eventually. And of course, there is a disclaimer in the box below. So let us see what these very vulgar little cards have to tell us. The Rebel Heart Tarot. About Harry and reconciliation, and what's really motivating it, and how it is going to go. He said in this interview that he will be back and forth to the UK. He's got plans. Ooh, there's the devil. We love it when the devil shows up. The devil has showed up in reverse in this reading, which is breaking free of a toxic situation or shedding some kind of obsessive behavior, addictions, lies, deceptions, anger, all of those unpleasant things that the devil encompasses. It's in the reverse. So there is some desire here, and there have been articles going around about he regrets some things and he's sad or angry that the fallout has got so bad between him and the royals, and a little bit of squabbling with Meghan about it. There is some hint here with this devil in reverse that perhaps he is seeing the error of his ways. I have to say just a hint, because with him I have very little faith in his ability to see the truth of a situation at this stage in his life. I personally, and this is my personal opinion, he is too far gone down the road with the devilish road, that path that he chose at that spectacle. Cough, cough. But anyway, there it is. Some desire to get over his bad behavior and his the toxic situation that has unfolded between himself and the rest of his family, his blood family situation from has-been's point of view. How deluded is he? Ten of Swords in reverse. It's serious. The calamities that have piled up in the US over the past few months have taken a toll with that Ten of Swords, and I think also the very hostile press has begun to make a dent in him, in his self-belief, even though he was strutting about full of puffery as ever in Canada. They seem to have lost the New York Post, page 6. If you follow them on the New York Post on page 6, my goodness, that worm has turned. So there's some really devastatingly critical articles about the Parkles there, just popped up in the past few days. Ten of Swords is a card of ruin and betrayal and endings, destruction. It's in the reverse. He wants to fix this. He does. Devil in reverse, Ten of Swords in reverse. He honestly does now want to fix this. It has possibly taken his father's diagnosis to make him realize that this is serious now. So that's interesting. It's consistent energy here. Devil in reverse, Ten of Swords in reverse. What's stopping reconciliation from happening? We're reading Harry's energy, really. We got the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords also in reverse, unless I flipped it over, it came out weirdly. Sometimes I do this. It hasn't happened to me for a while, but sometimes I do it, and in which case I just take it as intended to be. What happens on the tarot table, pretty much. Two of Swords in reverse is decisions, and difficult decisions that have been delayed. It's telling me it's too late. He's left it too late. He should have made this decision a while back. He should have not published Spare, or should have changed Spare, or he should have not done the Netflix documentary. He should have played his hand very, very differently. Now it's too late. Two of Swords in reverse. He's at this crossroads. He's at this impasse in his life. Does he go with Meghan, who famously loves to feud, has fallen out with just about everybody, friends and family, alienated everyone, his friends, his family, her family, all gone since she arrived. But he's stuck with her, and he's stuck with her worldview and her toxicity. He's now trying to wriggle out of it, but we've seen in Canada that however decorous he tries to be, shake hands with people, she's in front of him, pushing him out the way, hugging, gurning at the camera, look at me, look at me. She doesn't have any social graces. She doesn't have any EQ, in my opinion. She doesn't have that. humanitarian impulse that sees other people's pain. That's my opinion of her, personal opinion. So what's motivating this? Is it about the money? Is it about the failure? That's Ten of Swords is failure. Is it about actual love for the family? What's going on? Why? King of Swords. He wants to be Mr. Important. And there are interesting stories going around about regencies. And if something dreadful happened to the king, and then something even worse happened to Prince William, who would be the regent? He would. Lots of gossip, lots of chatter about this. Don't know who's putting it out there. One can speculate. But this is not about emotion. This is not about love. Look, I love my family, he says. No, he doesn't. Not according to the energy of these cards, my opinion. King of Swords is not a loving energy. It's about strategy. It's about law. It's about dominance. It's strategy. And that's the only thing that can possibly be the only incentive for him to weasel his way back into the royal family, is because he has some idea that this could be a thing one day. Perhaps he's been to psychics or fortune tellers or things like that, tarot readers, and he's seen it in his future. This is a wild speculation on my part. This is just the energy that's coming through. We know that Meghan likes psychics and fortune tellers, and has convinced Harry that she is able to communicate through beyond the veil to his beloved mummy. There is something in here that is chilling, and that's a very chilling depiction of the King of Swords. The ice, the snow, the cold. That's not love. That's not family feeling. Not at all. It's self-interest. It's cold energy. It's strategic energy. And it's about law. It's about people like that. It's about ruling. What's his goal? 5 of Cups. Very fixed on what he has lost. So there's the emotion, but it's not the emotion that I want to see. Not at all. Because 5 of Cups can be quite self-pitying. Especially when you're fixated on the milk that has been spilled, as it is in this particular depiction of the 5 of Cups, and you're not focusing on the good things that you still have in your life. So that's self-pity, that's dwelling on things that have gone wrong. I would say his sense of grievance towards the royal family is still there. But he's seen this opportunity. And some people are speculating that he's trying to oust Prince Andrew. If it comes to such a thing as a regency, if the king is incapacitated and William decides perhaps that Catherine's illness is such that he doesn't want to be king, and he steps aside, and oh well, George can have it all and I'm going to devote myself to my wife. Say that's a highly speculative scenario, and please God it doesn't come true ever. Then of course Harry and Andrew would be wrestling. Pistols at dawn kind of an energy. That's pistols at dawn. Okay, enough about that card. 5 of Cups, self-pity, very focused on the things that have gone wrong in his life. His marriage, of course, very toxic. Devil showed up. His endeavours have all pretty much come to nothing, even though he's still milking the Invictus Games for all it's worth financially, in my opinion. The most expensive penthouse suite at whatever that hotel is, I can't remember. Whistler and all the rest of it, the private jets and the this thing and the that thing and the clothes and the jewelry, the engagement ring that's come back reset, somewhat bigger rock in the middle of it, all that stuff. Who's paying for all that stuff? Anyway, let's look at the recent past, what's been going on in the recent past to prompt this. I love my family. Ace of Cups in reverse. Again, the self-pity thing. That's first energy that's come to me with the Ace of Cups in reverse. But more than that, it's this inability to connect. He's failed to be the popular prince that he was expecting to be in America. I say this over and over again, but that was the thing. You're so popular, you're #1 royal. Wow, your talents are being wasted in the UK with all these stuffy old royals, Charles and William, and you're always going to have to play second fiddle to them, even though you are better than they are, and you should rightfully be king. So let's go to America and you can be the most popular royal ever and do your happy-go-lucky stuff over there and make tons of money while you're at it and be a billionaire. Ace of Cups in reverse. It failed. It landed like a lead balloon, and something else has failed, and that, to me, again, my energy read here is the marriage. And we're going to check next, because that's apparently a marriage that can't be broken, according to a spokesperson for the Parkles yesterday. What's coming next in this reconciliation narrative? Harry's perspective. Harry's the one who now thinks that it's all, Three of Swords. You know what so fast has been? No. 12 minutes with the king. Some people say he wasn't even there with the king, but the king just blocked him. Maybe it was old Johnny for the 12 minutes. And put my mind back on track. My mind went straying off. Let's come back to the tarot table now, to the Three of Swords. Three of Swords. And that is heartache and betrayal. This is not going to go the way it has been thought it was going to go, not at least in the short term. He's going to be broken-hearted. He's going to be devastated when he realizes that however much he tells Will Reeve for GMA that he's open to reconciliation, and sure, his father's illness could pave the way for him back into the royal family and for everything to be great again. Three of Swords tells me, actually, no. His father's heart is broken over this. I constantly get that energy when I read on the king. Prince William is not going to forgive him. He might feel sorry for him in a sort of abstract way, village idiot kind of way. But he's never going to trust him. He's never going to let him close again. He's never going to let him around his children, his wife. He's never going to let him into his confidence again. That's Three of Swords. Most painful card in the tarot. So how does Harry view himself and his family, his blood family? Oh, the Star in reverse. Yeah. It has dawned. I was saying at the beginning of this reading, I didn't think he was really capable of seeing how badly wrong things have gone. But the Star in reverse does tell me that there is some awareness here. We've got it with the Devil in reverse and the Ten of Swords in reverse, that there is some awareness that this is the road to ruin, that it hasn't worked out the way he expected it to. It's got too toxic, it's got too damaging, it's become too obsessive. There is a tiny bit of awareness. The Star in reverse is despair. Upright is hope, it's faith, it's being on the soul path, following your destiny, doing your higher calling, following your higher calling, healing, all of those lovely things. The Star is probably the most beautiful card in the tarot. Star in reverse. It's all gone very badly wrong, and it's an interesting card because it links to the reading that I did yesterday. It's the Aquarian card, the Star, and an interview with a certain Aquarian started the rot, really. As Philip lay dying, Prince Philip, all these terrible accusations were hurled at the royals. The royals couldn't clap back. Recollections varied. That's all they were able to say at that particular time. It looked like it might all really go very badly wrong for the royal family. It's turned out that Harry and Meghan were their own worst enemies, the devil. But that is despair. What pressure is he under? So he sees it. He does see it. Again, I would say 5% of what a normal person would say. Pressure that he's under is the Death card in reverse. He's under pressure to let go of things that he refuses to let go of. This hatred of his stepmother, for instance. This narrative that he is so obsessed with. Devil card is obsession. Obsessed with what an interesting face that showed up in the Death card, is it not? Someone who might be stirring and cooking up trouble back home, who might be procuring certain substances for him back home in Montecito. But the Death card is about letting go, it's about accepting change, willingness to change. However devastating the experience is, dark night of the soul kind of experience. That's a dark night of the soul as well as Star card in reverse, just by the way. But the Death card, letting go, being stripped down to the bones and rebuilding yourself, allowing that process to happen, surrendering to it. It's Pluto energy. The Death card, going into the underworld, coming out transformed when you do finally emerge again. He doesn't want to do it, he resists it. And it's a symptomatic of someone who's very unevolved, who's very immature, who can't see that they are sometimes going to be wrong, that there are aspects of their self that need to change. And that's part of the work that we do here on this earth plane. We come here to learn and to grow and to transform. We don't come here to stay the same. And that's why relationships fail, and that's why our lives can sometimes be so challenging. He doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to let go of the things that he's clinging on to ferociously. The narratives that he has built up around certain people and certain situations, doesn't want to let go. And it's also Scorpio card, Death card, relationship with his father that needs to change. His perspective of it needs to change. And until he can do that and stop blaming everyone else, then disaster is just going to carry on. And we've got disaster in this reading. There's not a nice card here, given the upside downness of some of them, like the Star, except for that King of Swords, which is threatening to me. It's tricky, it's dangerous. That his intentions, his hidden intentions, are dangerous. That is my energy reading, my opinion. Hopes and fears for the has-been with this reconciliation narrative. 3 of Cups in reverse. He is worried that this is not going to fly. Because 3 of Cups is celebrating, hanging out, being comfortable with people, partying, friends. For some reason, I've got that David Cameron word, chillaxing. That's come from somewhere long time ago. 3 of Cups. It's come out in reverse. He's worried that this isn't going to work out, that he's not going to be welcomed back into the inner sanctum with his friends, let alone with his family. His friends, of course, he's been disinvited, if he ever was invited, to the Duke of Westminster's wedding. I think it's the Duke of Westminster. Apologies if I've got that one wrong. Sure it is. Hugh Grosvenor, I think that's the dude, has disinvited the Parkles to his wedding. Outcome for the has-been. Is this all going to dramatically improve? No, it's not. Fool in reverse. You don't get another chance at this. You are a fool. Stupid boy. There it is, stupid boy again. It's in reverse. You don't get another chance with us. We will never trust you. We will never confide in you. You have betrayed us. 3 of Swords. We will never forget that. We will never forgive you for that. We might still love you. We might feel sorry for you, as I said, in that you pathetic loser kind of a view. We might offer you support and help because we can't have you living under a bridge. But, we're done with you. So you think, and you're announcing on national television in America that this is the way to back home and opening doors to reconciliation and all of that. This reading is a hell no. It's an absolute hell no. And I know that the king is brokenhearted and the king isn't going to do the things that most people are urging him to do and would love him to do, to absolutely annihilate the has-been. The has-been is doing a very good job of annihilating himself. We see that with the devil, with the star in reverse, the 10 of swords, the 2 of swords, he's left it too late. Ace of cups in reverse, nobody loves him. 5 of cups, he's very focused on how pitiful he is. 3 of swords, ruin, devastation, death card, the 3 of cups in reverse, fool in reverse. It's a terrible reading. It's a terrible reading. And it's not going to go the way that he imagines it's going to go, because he thinks that if he tells people on national television in America that this is what's going to happen next, he believes that that is enough to make it so. The power of magical thinking, Puff the Magic Dragon, no, absolutely not at all. So there it is. That's your reading. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.